Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be talking about Aeterna's Puritas, the vision card that we have gotten for free. As of this date, we got it for free for login, and yeah, I'll be doing an evaluation and analysis on it since it has been released. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Here we are at the info and stats. For the HP, it's 371. That is on the higher end. That is very nice to see. 5 defense, which is also additionally on the higher end, and 120 magic, which is on the decent end. It's not going to be super high, but that's not too important because the HP and defense are going to be carrying this card in general. For the unit effects, if you are an ice unit using this vision card, you're not only going to get 10% more HP, but you also have hate stat of 5. This is innate hate. This is very nice to have. For Fryavia specifically, you're going to get a total of 10 accuracy as well as 10% missile resistance, which they're not bad, but not too important. For the party effects, you're going to be getting 20% slash resistance, which is huge, 10% wind resistance, which is, I mean, it's alright. You don't really need it too much as an ice unit against wind units, but it's not bad to have. And then specifically for everyone else that's also mono ice, you will be also getting 40% defense debuff resistance, which is, I believe, kind of a useless stat in general right now because I don't think 40% is a reliable source. I'd rather have something like bigger or like more guarantee instead. But yeah, the two main units that could probably use this vision card, obviously Fryavia is going to be one of them, but I also think possibly Valentine Solaire, only because she also has an innate 10 base defense, so she can get to a base of 15 defense with this vision card specifically, and she can still make use of the magic stat in that regard. Outside of this, another sample unit, Gilgamesh, is just very omni useful and just in general, so he could use this. And in the future, when Agris gets her EX, if you do want to use her as just like a tank slash CC like bot, or like just using her just for like CC and she's a tank like a lot of people have done before and not really damage oriented, she could definitely make use of this vision card in the future when she's EX'd pretty much. So here we are at the good, the bad, and the worst. So first off, for the good, it has high HP, decent magic, and big defense. It's not 6, however 5 is definitely on the way better end, as we've seen from different vision cards I've also like analyzed or took a look at for a review. They don't give as like much of a benefit. 5 defense is a very good amount. The bestowed effects really are strong, mostly due to hate, as well as like there's a sprinkle of 10% HP, which is not bad, but most importantly is going to be the hate stat, and I'll be talking that like very soon. Bestow for Fryavia gives additional accuracy and missile resistance both by 10%, which is not bad, but it's nothing like, oh wow, that's so game changing, or like this is definitely going to make a difference. It's like, it's not really going to be doing that. It's just a little bit of sprinkles on top of it. The party effect focuses on slash resistance, which is extremely really good because slash in general is going to be very prevalent. Just in general, a lot of the majority of damage you will take usually is going to be slash in general, not always, but yeah, it is very like, it's very good to have pretty much. The wind resistance and defense debuff resistance are also there. I mean, they're not really impressive or anything to like really talk too much about, but yeah, it's mostly going to be for the slash resistance. This is one of the more defensive vision card lineups for setups for a mono ice team. It's definitely going to be a better counterpart than Solidus, specifically for ice units in general. So yeah, this is a good card for defensive situations, mostly against slash. So the bad parts of the vision card. The stats in the vision card are pushing towards a magic stat based tank, which doesn't allow for like the best usage of the vision card in general, and I mean that in terms of like unit availability. Like, who do we realistically have that is an ice unit, that is a tank, that's also mostly magic based? It's really only Fryavia. They're really pushing the agenda for this, and it kind of makes sense because the vision card literally is her. It's literally for her. So yeah, that's why outside of this, the flexibility, as you saw before, is not too much or like wide in variety. But I do have to say the hate stat is important. There is no vision card ability on the bestow, a very big thing. Bestow effect for Fryavia is not really impressive. Like I said before, she's not going to be there for the accuracy. She's not going to be hitting evasion units. Even with the 10 accuracy, it's going to help, but it's nowhere near reliable or something that you should really like think is going to be beneficial enough to make a difference. It's not. So yeah, the vision card in general, it's like other ice units can use it as well, but Fryavia specifically doesn't even get that big of a benefit from using it for her bestow effects. Another bad part is that wind resistance and defense debuff resistance are kind of just filler stand-in like benefits that they just slapped in. Like if you're facing a wind team as an ice team anyways, a well-built ice team, like it doesn't even have to be too well built, but like a good ice team will always defeat a wind team. There is no exception. Like if you messed up your like formation to have literally like that big of a difference that an ice team is beating your mono wind team, you have other things to worry about than this type of vision card. You have a lot more issues to think about rather than this vision card right now, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's why I don't think the wind resistance is really too important. And the defense debuff is like, it's really rare to see if anyone can even lower defense right now, because mostly everyone is kind of focused on penetration, and defense debuff right now is not really reliable at the 40% mark, as well as there's not too many units that can use it right now either. Like Ruin Stern right now is like one of the major ones that can lower defense, and in the future I think it's like Noctis, but yeah, we don't have a lot of units right now that can lower defense like reliably, so it's like it's not even too important to have currently. And lastly, it's not a good standalone vision card for mono ice, especially compared to the other options available. I know the slash resistance is really good, but if you're not facing slash like units in general, this vision card's really not doing you much of a favor outside of the hate. So yeah, the worth in the end, it is free, so it is a +1. Like it gets additional points. I do think it's a 3.5 out of 5 vision card. I will say it is also limited in terms of like the shards and stuff, so that's what it says on the news, so just be wary of that. Too long didn't raid. The vision card has a huge impact on the AI for ice units that can utilize the hate stat specifically against your enemies on auto battle, which is very important. Currently the two main magic-based units that can make use of the defense as well as the hate stat specifically would be Fryavia and Sweetheart Salir that can use literally 100% of the stats of the vision card, so it's very nice to have. Any other unit would either, they're not gonna make too good usage of like one stat over the other. Like they're either not gonna be a tank, so the hate stat is not gonna be good on them because they will be focused down quickly and die, and or the magic stat, they are not a magic based unit, so they can't even use it for that. They will only just be holding it for the hate pretty much. So yeah, that is pretty important to consider. Additionally, hate is a very strong AI manipulation, which is mandatory to be resolved by the nature of auto AI from your enemies. So if you do have hate on a unit, the enemy will like tunnel in towards them, like tunnel vision, and like gather bottleneck to that hate unit, because that is what the AI is designed to do. That's why tanks in general in auto battle are very, very effective and strong. That's why it is like something you do have to mention. Well, I have to mention. The additional stats for Fryavia, they're not really big importance, like I said, and they're not going to be helping her kill like evasion units and or survive more missile based units unless they were specifically a different element typing that she can easily handle. The extra 10% missile resistance is not a big difference. It's not going to be enough. The slash resistance on the party effect, as I said, is literally the counterpart to Solidus, but specifically for ice units, and there's a little bit more extra sprinkles of effects additionally to that. So it's basically a better option than Solidus specifically for mono ice. And lastly, there are possibly some more future units that can make use of this vision card, or just for the AI manipulation alone. We don't know yet, because as of right now, we don't know what other good ice units that can use magic and hate stat right now. We don't know. But yeah, in the future, we do know that if EX Agris comes out and her damage is not increased by a lot, I can see and imagine a lot of people using her as a tank still, and just having her like spam her stop and disable and like her other CC abilities, because she was very good at that back in the day, and she still is right now, but there are a lot of people who are resistant to like some of her stuff. So yeah, that's why it could potentially be used on like a tank slash CC unit rather than for the damage itself. So yeah, it is overall an effective card if you know what you're doing with the hate stat pretty much. And here are at a sample ice setup that you have for Fryavia, and I know I didn't show any other VC's cards here, only because I think I literally released like almost like 3, 4, almost like 5 vision card setup videos already with ice, and there are so many just ice examples. Like there's too much to say for it, so I'm just going with the simple part here, also to kind of just save time. But yeah, the core is obviously going to be Fryavia using her own vision card. Salir is going to be here specifically to increase everyone's HP and damage, as well as being a very strong DPS herself. And in the future, if Agris was getting her EX and she still has good damage or like decent damage, she would be using the vision card of Fenrir specifically to raise the magic resistance as well as damage for herself, just the attack stat. So yeah, as you can see here, this balance of team would be focused on hitting slash and magic resistance based teams, attack type teams, because they will be heavily mitigating that type of damage and having a lot of HP overall as a team. So yeah, this is an example setup specifically for that vision card. But yeah, basically if you like this video, we've come to the end of it. Please leave a like and or comment, and yeah, until next video, peace out.